I will do this and nothing will happen. When people start to tell you nothing will happen, believe them. They are the quickest to tell you to go to court because they know that when you go to that court, you will meet them there. And they have capacity to be able to manipulate anything. They will tell you they have the connections. It's not a society. Your hard work does not matter. It's what they decide. The people that succeed in those society are those that can do the things and the bidding of the big people. They are the ones that say, oh, let me give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And in cases like that, those are the ones that gain their unfair advantage. They can go anywhere possible. People become poor in such a society. The right of the common man is dampened, is destroyed. But that's why we are trying to fix society. Yesterday we had outreach in Odogbolu. We had hundreds of people there. We gave parts of food. We donated across board. We had the chief imam come to join us there. We're happy. And that's why I still also use this show to be able to empower people physically. And that's why, please, still call me up today. If you have business plans, today we'll do people that have business plans. If you have business plans. Somebody called me yesterday. He said he has a big project that's looking for partners. Let's go ahead. Let's help them. So if you have business plans, you call me up today, 0818 099 1991. But you see, societies like this are societies that when you speak truth to evil, they say you are partisan, because the people that say you are partisan don't want to hear the truth. The other day we were talking about the senator's recall. Yesterday again I broke the story that they are trying to start a recall again because the first one failed. When you say should a recall be done, they say you are not speaking truth to power because you're not favoring them. So what happens in societies like that is that people dominate. People that have power and that can use the state resource, they dominate. But they forget that power will not last forever. I tell people the greatest wealth I want, God, is God, give me the capacity to be able to help other people. That's the kind of money I want. To do more. To give more. To build more. Like we built a library. Like we built a center where people do health outreach. To do more. That's my capacity. I have never said, God, give me power so that I'll be able to show the other person I have power and bring them down. All the platforms I have, like today, I want to give it unto you to be able to sell yourself in business and in productivity, and to speak truth to evil politicians in this country. That's the kind of power I want to have. To set a nation aright. Not to bring people down. Because whatever it is, the evil you sow today will come back to you. There's no way you can do evil and it will go scot-free. And no empire will reign forever. So truth has to be said. We start to speak the truth every time. The truth will not be palatable to you if you do evil. But we speak it, we are not here to make you happy. So we need to lift our nation away from the cusp of evil. We need to lift our nation And this help, this nation lifting, I've been doing for over 10 years on radio. So it's not today. Over 10 years ago, we were empowering people. We even empowered Nigerians in diaspora when we did Empowerment Series London. We did Empowerment Series Lagos 2015. Because this is our lifestyle. We did tree planting 2010, 2009, 2010. We partner with every project to empower people. Then how do we change that society I'm talking of? A society has become a society of evil like what we have in Nigeria, where people want to silence the truth, where evil reigns supreme because of political gains. The way we can change that society is to speak the truth at all times. After speak the truth, we empower people like we'll do this morning. And please, yes, there's also something I'm doing. What we're also doing, we're also empowering women that are seeking the face of God for the fruit of the womb. We know fertility treatment can be very expensive. There's a friend of mine that runs a foundation. If you can get on board, you never know, you might get help. She might not be able to do everything, but she might help and counsel you. This is her number, because we partner with them also. I've put it on the Facebook today. You can also log on to our number, and you never know. Maybe you might get your help from there. This is, I'll call a number out now. Theirs is the Didiola Foundation. And I'll just try to get details out. Theirs is the Didiola Foundation. The Didiola Fertility Foundation, 0813 676 6444. 0813 676 6444. Those are those for seeking the face of God for the fruit of the womb. You might be able to benefit from that. You never know. Some people have gone there, joined them, and they've gotten help. That's for those seeking the face of the fruit of the womb. But to call me live this morning, 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. Hello, how are you?
Rufai.
Morning, great to have you. What's your name?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Let me echo what you said. If you do good, you do for yourself.
Yes, so.
If you do bad, you do for yourself.
Yes.
Thank you. This is Ambassador Musa here.
God bless you. You are one of my partners over the years. Are you, Ambassador Musa, you know I've been doing this radio show for over 10 years because you were with me on the other 2 radio stations I was before I came here.
Fantastic. Evergreen.
Yes.
There's nothing to add, to remove. You've just been great.
Yes.
You are sent by Almighty God.
Yes.
And please continue what you are doing.
Yes.
Shall continue. No matter what, God is with you.
Amen.
No matter what, God is with you. God is your strength.
Amen.
I believe that I confirm that I did that anytime, any day. Yes, I'm part of it. So let me give you a rundown. Can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Yeah, you see, we tried in my machine to concentrate and to movement.
Yes. How is that charity project going on in Mushi?
It's going fantastic.
God bless you.
I'm not afraid of police, but take this boys out of this room to do something of them. We're working on that. So to me, I'm asking people, let's learn how to support, to be help to others.
Yes.
But if you know you can do this, do this, sit and get the box. Don't drop your note there. I want to go about the on his phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Please, let's do some just a thing that is motor. Just stop your mess agenda. I can help. I'm at the Muslim office. So we contact you.
Thank you.
I'm appealing to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Ambassador Musba is somebody that he lost his sight during the June 12 struggle, and he's been still be giving back to community and society. He powers what I call our motion project, where we talk to people that are doing drugs and all of that. In the course of the week, it's going to be my new year. It's going to be my birthday, and what I always do is give back as much as possible. If you want to celebrate me, I don't believe in self-celebration, but go ahead, give to people on my behalf. That's the best way. We've done about 200 people. Yesterday, we want to do more. My joy will be a day where we have a nation where people are less hungry. That'll be my joy. And also, I've been doing this for over 10 years, even many, many years back, just to sacrifice for people. Because you see, I've come to realize you don't live a life for yourself. And I know this because I'm a child that lost his mom at a tender age. And I've seen that, and I've seen people die in my presence. It's not the first time I'm going to see people die. And that experience never left me because there's just a thin line between life and death. I saw somebody die for the first time at the age of 5, 6, and that never left me. So I know that we must keep giving to humanity because there's nothing in this life. Somebody's talking about I must not. Yes, he lost his sight during the June 12 struggle. Tear gas was, used on the side, but it still helps with talking to people in motion. And just like we do with the prison ministry. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Morning, what's your name? Oh, we lost that. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is John Azuka of DCI.
Where are you calling from, John?
I'm calling from Ogun State.
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. Firstly, I want to appreciate the 2 weeks ago I came to your life talked about my story training. I really want to appreciate you. I am very, very grateful. I am very, very grateful.
Okay, so you're the one from Peak Montessori. And we're able to empower you. That's the good thing. I'm happy about that. As long as I can promote, help, I'm happy. That's all the life is about.
And also, sir, I wanted to add, I'm thinking of a way you would love me to work with 1 million teachers because I just feel there's a little I can expand when it comes to the Montessori.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I will note that, and I will also get some details out as much as possible. I will announce some new things, when 1 million teacher is coming up, and I will note that. I will see how we can all partner together. Now just keep listening to the show. Yeah, thanks, sir. Yeah. No, not a problem. It is well. In the big teacher village. Hello, how are you? Morning, yeah.
Hello?
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Oseni.
I can hear you. What's your name?
Good.
And maybe it's your network. So 1 million teacher is also another group I do a lot of work with. They've been saying I should hold a position in 1 million teacher. I said I work best when I don't hold any position in any charity. It's a teacher outreach. We've done some deployment. We've trained teachers in Ogun State, Odogulu, and all of that. And currently, 1 million teacher is building a teachers' village somewhere in Oshun. At some point within the year, I should still see it on, I think, about 10 or 15 hectares. I'm bad with this big size land, and it's all over Africa. 1 million teacher, we're doing a lot of work in Rwanda, Kenya, everywhere, in Canada. It's officially run by Akim Suba and Rizma. So that's what he said he wanted to work with. So I also helped him with the Montessori training. So a lot of people get opportunities from this show. And that's the essence. That's how you build a nation. I want to saturate the world with so much good. Because you see, a lot of people are saturating the world with so much wickedness. All I have is good. And that's my priority. Good every time. If I can saturate the world with so much good and kindness, that's all I want. Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Morning, what's your name? Can you speak up a little louder? I cannot hear you.
I can't take it from
From where? Obviously, something is wrong with your phone line. I think you've been trying to call many times. 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. Also, we're going to be having a series coming up with my sister Naomi Ebozo Saga. It's going to be a parenting series. So please watch out for it from the 10 o'clock hour. We have a lot of great stuff coming up on the 10 o'clock. Hello, how are you? Morning. Morning. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Morning, what's your name?
Yes, my name is Ike.
Where are you calling from? Yeah.
Yes, Rufai, I want to appreciate you for your work. You are a competent, I don't want to use that language, but let me say, you are a competent, stubborn journalist. I was so impressed the day you wanted to the one that was, insulting obvious the other day. Was, it's the way you humbled him in the right video was so impressive. And can you hear me, sir?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yes. And there is something I want to tell you. It is very, very important. Next time you are commenting, make sure that you don't say something that weakens the minds of your followers. Like, if that the Tinubu government will do this and there is nothing will happen. It will weaken us. You need the young youth.
No, but I'm saying the truth now. I'm saying the truth. You see, the problem is with you guys, you don't like to hear the truth. Have you not seen politicians that say they would do something and nothing will happen? Didn't they declare a state of emergency in this country in very funny circumstances and they said nothing will happen? So if you know that they do these things and they get away with it, so we can collectively speak against it. That's why I'm telling you that. They do it and they say nothing will happen and you see nothing will happen. Except you speak up.
The only thing is that what they are doing is piling up in the mind of Nigeria. I'm not up to 30 years old. I've had an opportunity to work with the governor of my state. And because of the nonsense that they are doing, I started to tell my mom to tell me that I'm not interested. I'm not that kind of person. But the Nigerian youth are angry. You go to all the pedestrian bridges in Lagos, you see hundreds of young men, sleeping under the bridge. They're messing up the whole place. Educating in all the environment. And because they don't have hope, if you give them job, they do. But what they do is, if your car breaks down on the road, they rob you. It's quite unfortunate.
And that's why we need to call the politicians to order. We need to call them to order because actually they do things and they say nothing will happen and nothing does happen. That's the kind of country we've built.
You're pushing your fellow human being. And let me tell you something about the people who bully, the students who bully each other in the school. The reason why they do that is that they believe that they will do it and nothing will happen.
And that's just it. So we need to change that mindset. Let me take other calls, my brother, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, how are you? Morning, what's your name?
I'm Precious. Hi from Ileko.
Turn up the volume of your radio set. Go ahead, talk to me.
I just want to appreciate you because so far the learn about you empowering from.
Thank you.
So this is my first time calling in this session.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
And I just feel I will be one of your beneficiaries someday.
No wahala. No wahala. If you know anybody as a woman out there that's seeking the face of God for a child, there's a fertility foundation. You can call them up on 0813 676 6444. All right? You can call them on that number. They might be able to benefit. You never know. Thank you. I appreciate you. See, the truth is, I say the way it is. We have got into a society where people will do evil and they'll tell you nothing will happen because they can get away with it because they know that you, the people, do not speak up. That's just it. So once they know that, they take you for granted. And when they take you for granted, you suffer it. Except you start to speak up and ask questions, your life will never become better. Hello, how are you doing? Great Sunday morning to you. Bless you. You're on the air. Hello? Morning. Speak up. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is from Obudu.
I cannot hear you well, oh.
I'm Zacchaeus Femi.
Okay, go ahead, Zacchaeus.
I'm calling from Obudu.
Go ahead.
I have a call of helping the linked towards it. And when I actually have the regular listening of your program, and when I had all the ones you've been saying, I was touched to just call you and seek how you can assist me, advise me.
What's going on with you?
Sir?
What's wrong with you? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm working. I'm a driver. And what I earn is 70,000. What I'm believing God that God will bless me so that I can give to people around me. But sometimes when I earn my salary after settling my big family and I give to people, I'm left with nothing. And I don't have the power to go back to where I was before because I operate car hire. So when I cannot get my car, then I sold it off. So I actually want to go back so that I can continue the work God has.
So you need a car, right?
Need to do. Sir?
You need a car?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give out your number on air. You never know. Somebody might be listening. I will help you. Call your number. Is your number 0815 106 7877? So 0815 106 7877. That number needs a car. He wants to do car business, car hire or something. If you're interested, you can call him up and talk to him and make your assessment and try to help him. Thank you.
I'm grateful, sir.
God bless you. So let's do as much as possible to empower people. 0818 099 1991. So we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. Yeah, they said I should add TikTok because a lot of the TikTok people were complaining. So Rufai Oseni's page, you're sending Rufai on TikTok for the TikTok people. Facebook, Instagram, and we're live on the radio, 90.3 terrestrial, and VOP 90.3 YouTube live streaming. So we'll take more calls and empower more this Sunday morning. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Bless you. What's your name? Go ahead. Morning. What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel.
Mama, can you speak a little bit louder for me, please?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually one of your. I've been listening to this program. But then I learned today I heard you talk about those that have collaborated technology.
Yes. You have a business plan or idea. Talk to me about it.
Yes, I'm busy not in Nigeria, not in Nigeria, and I'm not in particular. I've been working with one of the non-government organizations, but then the state faggot will stop work for that side. Stop. I've made effort, and now at home not working. So, but then my plan is that, they're not fixing a particular but no, there's a lot of habit fish that is served, and the fish is so, because my parents are in Abuja actually, so I intend to get the fish here and then maybe leave it in Abuja and see what I can get for myself and my wife.
So you want to do fish business?
Yes, and it's very lucrative, because the fish here is much better than I've been in Abuja, I've seen the fish they have here. So I intend to do that. But then, the capital is always a problem to do that.
So you want to do fish? What capital do you need for your fish business?
Yeah, between 300 to 500,000 naira would be a good start.
300 to 500,000. The person that invests in your business, how much would they get in return? Or at what time would you be able to pay their money back?
It depends, because currently at this season, the fish is available.
So specifically, what time will you be able to pay their money back if they invest?
Like in 2 to 3 months.
Okay, 2 to 3 months. So your number is 0706 760 6768.
Yes, sir.
0706 760 6768. You want to do fish business, and if they invest in you, you'll be able to pay them back in 2 to 3 months. You need capital of 300 to 500,000 naira. Thank you. So you heard that there. If you're interested in that, that's a business proposition for you. You might want to take up. We'll take a couple of calls more. We'll wrap things up. But hey, the second segment is even more powerful. So the second segment might not be on this live chat on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You'll have to go to VOP 90.3 FM. I also hear VO News TV streaming with us now. That's another of our news platform. So if you can get up there, 0818-099-1991, 0818-099-1991. For those that want to call us from TikTok, please don't forget you have to call the live number. Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Peter.
Where are you calling from?
Calling from Agege.
Go ahead, Chika. Talk to us.
Okay, sir. But please, I need you guys help, please.
Okay.
I would like to get forward.
What can you do, Chika?
Okay, how am I opening a bar where I do catering and food?
How much is the capital needed for the bar business?
Okay, for the start, I'll be needing 1 million for the start.
1 million. When will you pay back the 1 million?
It's 3 months time. What I open it?
3 months. I hope you will not give them stories, oh.
No, it will be the same. They'll be even know the place I'm taking it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Give them your number quickly. Quickly. Call your number.
I just have it 14 80 5545.
Call it again.
070
Yeah.
14 80 5545.
All right. It's all right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah. So the number for the TikTok people that are saying you're calling me live, I can't take calls on the live platform there. You just call 0818-099-1991. That's the number you should call to get on live with me. 0818-099-1991. That's the number. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Shuaib. I'm calling from Gonzo.
Go ahead, talk to me.
Yeah, please. I really appreciate the work you're doing, both on the media and everywhere. There's actually a blind school owned by federal government. It's one of the federal ministry of humanitarian affairs and poverty reduction. It's the only blind school owned by federal government. It's pathetic because the school has been shut down since last year. The depriving blind people from going part of operation to higher skill conditions. And the surgery is actually getting more and more dilapidated. I don't know how you can actually...
Where is the blind school that was shut down?
Why was it shut down?
Where is it?
Okay, it's like our bus stop along the Dubai Gondor Road.
Okay, blind school shut down at Power Line Bus Stop, Idimu Igondo Road. We'll keep amplifying it. Thank you. Thank you. So, blind school shut down by the government at Power Line Bus Stop. That used to help a lot of people in that area. 080 0. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Oseni.
Bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stanley Ohiwere. I'm calling from Ambara again, Kotu.
Go ahead.
I just want to appreciate you for the good work you have been doing.
God bless you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great Sunday. God bless you too, my brother. Yeah. So the phone lines to call 0818-099. Hello, how are you? Oh, we lost that. 0818-099-1991. Let's just build a solid nation that'll stand the test of time and help a lot of people. That's the priority. Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Toma Poduku.
Go ahead.
I am a fashion designer, but I don't really, the work I'm doing, but I don't really see the most income. What's my problem is that I don't know whether I can see something that can sponsor me to travel to the country.
You want to jackpot?
Yes, I'm tired.
What's happening to your fashion designing now? Why don't you improve the fashion designing business? Because if you want to jackpot now, it will cost you money. If that money you want to spend to jackpot, if you put it in your fashion designer business, I think it will do a lot better.
Because I've been doing this business. I'm doing it to sell my house. So I've been trying to raise money to rent it up. I want to one problem or the other, you don't take the money of before.
Maybe you can seek investors. Maybe you can seek investors and call your number, please. 0 090 63 double three 17 55 30. Okay, thank you. Hello, how are you? Morning. In where? Ikorodu? Cultism in Ikorodu, right? Yeah. What's going on there? Ibishin. Yeah. It's filled with cultists. It's filled with cultists. Ibeshe, Ajose, in Ikorodu. Yeah. Okiota.
I told them there's one a place that they play football there, but what they do is if they go big enough, some of them will be outside. Those ones are gone. They'll send someone to go and order for stuff. And by the time they finish ordering for something, they will refuse to pay. And when you wanted to release them, they will shoot you directly. That's what happened to one guy. He's not far from this particular place I'm telling you. And that the commissioner of police, you guys should start calling the commissioner of police to do something about cultist boys.
So cultist boys in Ibishi, huh? What's the area again?
Especially in Ikorodu.
Okay, customers in the Korodu Ibeshe, right? What area in Ibeshe?
These guys are almost like a terrorist.
What area in Ibeshe? Ibeshe, I just said. Okay. Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, Rufai.
Great to have you.
They give another opportunity for people. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is about the I think an opportunity for people. They have a facility free of charge for 4 hours. If you want to train people, man, go organize a seminar for people. Can you just call and check against the Center for Business. They'll give you facility 35 people to 40 at a time.
Okay, tell me that area again. Shagari Estate. They give you, if you want to train people, Shagari Estate in Yanapaja, they give you what?
40 people, they'll give facility free for 4 hours.
For 4 hours to train people. What area is that? Do they have a number? Oh, okay. So call Ambassador Musbau's number on 0803 572 8196. If you want to do a training for people, empowering people, call that number. He'll give you a facility. No more than 40 people in Shagari Estate. It's all right? Yeah. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. What's your name? Where you calling from? Please speak up a little bit louder. Go ahead, yeah. What business do you do? Huh? Okay, you do have body needs. So what do you need for your business now?
Yeah, my business is shaking because I don't have much capital to.
What do you need? How much do you need for it?
I will need 1.5 and to get it started.
1.5. What's your phone number?
348 795 79.
Okay. Hello?
Sir.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Anthony. Good to hear from you, sir. I've been trying for very long time, sir.
Good to talk to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm into shoe making business.
You make shoes.
And yes, I make shoes. And now I'm financially done. I needed financial to boost my shoe work.
How much do you need? And are you going to pay back the money or not?
Yes, I will pay back the money. Of course, I will pay back the money if I to get have at the time.
Okay, call your number out.
Okay. My number is 080
Yeah,
244
yeah,
510
yeah. Call it again.
080
Yeah,
244
yeah.
51035.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, hello, sir.
What's your name?
Good morning, Dr. Sunday. My name is Johan, calling from Kenya.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my is farming. I started off farming 2 years ago. So I had serious issues. My younger brother was kidnapped on his way to Lagos to get agrochemicals for me.
Sorry about that.
It's fine, thank God.
As you know about that released after I was kidnapped? Was he released after I was kidnapped?
Yeah, and that was what actually cost almost all my resources as of last year.
Where was he kidnapped? Where? Where was your younger brother kidnapped?
In Aliete, that is the East local government in Benue.
Benue. And he went to do farming.
Yes, sir.
So you need money to start your business back up again.
Yes, sir.
How much will you need?
So I need like 2.5.
2.5 million. What do you farm? What do you plant?
I farm maize, melon, and benedict.
Okay, maize and melon, 2.5. Call your number quickly.
081
Eh?
08149
Yeah.
6771
Yeah.
99.
Okay, call it again.
081
Yeah.
49
Yeah.
6771
Yeah.
99.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, speaking.
Morning, what's your name? Okay. So that's about all we can take, but this doesn't end here. Please just go to our YouTube page, VOP 90.3 FM. Interact with the messages there, the video, the show, and try as much as possible to put your requests. Every week, from time to time, we'll keep bringing the chance for opportunities. I pray as you go this week, God will bless you. He'll make his face shine over you, give you favor on every side, and he'll lift you and uplift your business. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. So that's about all we can take. Thank you guys so much for joining us across every platform. We appreciate you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all.
Great. So for those who have not read,
Yeah.
for those who have not read Nigerians, self-organizing people, just like it's do a quick summary of what the book is about. Nigerians, self-organizing people.
Okay, so Nigerian self-organizing people was born out of the fact that we just wanted to tell beautiful stories about what great people were doing in Nigeria. So me, Andrew Nevin, Umar Nevin, Sheyak Badano, and Cameron, we just all came together and we said, okay, let's write this book. And what we wanted to celebrate excellence across board, because we discovered that what is really holding Nigeria together is the ingenuity of the people. It's not about the leadership. It's not about the leadership fails many times. But look at stories like that of 1 million teachers, which I've told every single time. You know, because I was part of the beginning of 1 million teachers, where in a hotel, we were ideating for spelling bee competition. And when that didn't fall to pass, we now started 1 million teachers, and it's become successful. We wrote this book just to be able to tell amazing tale about great things happening in Nigeria. Me, Andrew, Omar, Sheyi, and Peter, you know, we came together because we wanted to tell amazing. And like I was saying, 1 million teachers. Akim Suba, we're just ideating that night in a hotel room. Prior to then, I had done some work with Akim Suba in Osho State, and we had done some very good work, you know, on the Osho Youth Empowerment Scheme, Okmoimo, and all of that. So, and you know, we had done some work. I had done some media aspect of our work. Phillips Consulting had done most of the consulting work, and we just felt, why can't we take this thing to the next level? And Akim used to have a spelling bee competition that was running. It was very big in Osho. And he had a very interesting story. I taught in a school. He had a school called Tiny Tots, you know, and he set up that school because he didn't see a school that could give the quality standard of education that his children needed. So it was that same ideation that pushed him. And that night we were ideating on bringing back the spelling bee. Then a couple of months after I come, we could have stumbled on this thing called 1 million teachers. Today, 1 million teachers is too big. Akin has got a piece of land where he's going to be building one of the first teachers' village in Nigeria. So it's not just got partnership with governments of nations. We're going to have infrastructure on ground. Teachers' village, wide ecosystem. Lots of teachers are on the 1 million teachers platform. Emir Sanusi has gotten on board with us. And I can see the impact on the lives of people. I have also gotten on board to the extent that a couple of teachers in my village benefited from it in Odogbolu. So you can see with just that thing we ideated in a hotel room, it has now become 1 million global teachers now. And these are the stories we wanted to tell. I mean, look at the story of Afe Babalola, the university, the health system there, you know, how much he had done, you know, for humanity and all of that. That's another good story worth telling. Look at the independent power plant set up, you know, within camp and all of that. I mean, these are many other stories that we just try to tell there. So we need to tell people that yes, we believe in possibility and these things are possible, and it's just how deep we can look at these things and create results where, you know, everything looks bleak.
That is some of the failing states.
No, it's a symptom.
I know you tried to break that.
Yeah, no, it's a system of the failing states. Let's not deceive ourselves. But people also should self-organize. I mean, the ingenuity of America is a lot of self-organization. So on the other side, I don't just want to say it's totally a system of a failing state. The ingenuity of, I mean, look at when the likes of Cornelius Vanderbilt built the rail lines in America. Government just give them right of way and all of that. When the likes of JP Morgan owned banks that saved America, when America was in debt, it was because government supported their sense of ingenuity. So I believe government should support their own sense of ingenuity, but at the same time, people should be allowed to be able to self-organize, but government should not just leave them like that and just let them be, because that's where lies the problem. I think it should be a collaborative effort. People are innovating and doing great stuff, and they're self-organizing, and government should be able to meet them halfway. The root cause of this bad leadership, number one, is culture. Like I always say, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. We've built a very bad culture. A king in Yoruba land is called Kabiyesi. It's a mentality. You cannot ask him what he had done. So we juxtapose that mentality into accountable leadership, which can never work. The politicians become high-handed, so they use because of the poverty, inherent poverty caused by depreciation of opportunities. These people think that they can give you money and get their way. So when you have that, definitely you have a society that has a lot of malaise. And that's why you see Nigeria is going through what it's going through today. Today, Rufai was talking about the fact that party delegates are stark illiterate. But what about the politicians that are giving them the money? We don't talk about that. So we have a collective system where even if you get to a political position, people around you will say that you're stupid for not stealing. So we need to start changing that and going back to the ethos. I don't want to say of Omoluabi because people have also bastardized that ethos today. I mean, we live in a country where we have politicians that the school they finish from, they can't tell us. The school they claim they finished from was not even founded when they graduated. Politicians that said they did well in school, but when they say, okay, let's research their result, they will say to put them in irreparable damage. And they have people that are supporting them. Just imagine that. So we have that cultural problem. It's pure and simple. So except we are ready to solve that cultural problem, which is going to take a while, then we are not going to move forward.
How long do you think this will take before we can start seeing change?
I mean, we're functioning on habit. If Nigeria gets very good leadership, which is also going to be very difficult because of leadership problem, if you have sustained 5 to 10 years, you can change things. Because see, don't let's deceive ourselves. Nigerians are very highly impressionable people. Remember when Buhari just came in? People were already scared. I also want to fight corruption. Once they saw that he was not ready to fight corruption, they moved on. So, coming back to striking a balance. How do you strike a balance? It's regulatory sandbox. And we've done this in many sectors. You know, where we have a sandbox where government and businesses and self-organizing businesses collide. Take for instance, the fintech sector, it has grown out of that level of regulatory sandbox. I remember when we co-founded Loyal Bonus. My partners, Uncle Rexy, Yamela, and a couple of other people online. As at that time, CBN was just going to say blanketly, oh, if you don't have this amount, you can't come into fintech. But things have gotten a lot better. They've been iterations due to regulatory sandbox and things like that. People that do fintech now have to get microfinance bank licenses and all of that. Back in the days, around 2016, because we also wanted to have a fintech component to lower bonus, it was not as easy as it is today. So, constant collaboration, regulatory sandbox, and government also doing things in aid of businesses. And you see, they're partnering across, but the growth and development of the real estate in Lagos has been that regulatory sandbox. It is the developer that builds everything out, that open most of the areas. Maybe government can just okay, do the big first start filling of that area and all of that. I'll give you an instance, that collaboration. Government fixed this Lekki Epe Expressway. It opened up to be one of the largest and fastest growing corridor in the world, with millions and millions of people. If you had come here about 40, 50 years ago, you couldn't even get to where we are because Morocco was on pikes. Morocco was on pikes. Most of the area you call Victoria Island, today. In fact, at some point, if you go and check all those legally area, they're called Victoria Island Extension. Victoria Island ended around the Mount Bello area at that time. So all this area Morocco was on pikes. I know somebody that built his house in that VI off the Ghanaian Holiday in 92, 93. When he got that land in the 80s, it was on pikes. You have to, it was proper shanty. But some feeling came, development came, opened up the area. So you can also see most of this collaboration. Government should be in aid of free enterprise, not stifling free enterprise. That's why I see a lot of people kicked against this tax bill. Yeah. But you should also be careful when you wrap up taxes for businesses that are not making anything. It kills the momentum in the air.
Helping to make the business of doing business in Nigeria easy for
with due respect, they're not ready. They've not even grappled with the understanding of it. Yeah, they've tried to do something, but I don't see that readiness.
You said they've tried to do something,
but I
you don't see that readiness.
And I'll tell you why. The things they have done has just been on the surface. If you really want to show you are ready, you go deep. Cost of doing business is a malaise as we speak today. You have devalued the economy. Business can't compete. Look at in the media sector. To get a radio zero to get 5-10 million naira a month to pay your bills is hell on earth. People that are running media is just a labor of love. It's a difficult place to be. Look at, since the time the telecoms company have been looking for tariff increases, they just granted now it's just even 50%. How well will that 50% go when you have had inflation that has also, because we forget inflation is a tax on the poor and businesses. Inflation has also degraded the standard of living. The likes of your MTN, I hope you know they have commercial paper dollar loans. Just imagine they are earning in naira, they are paying dollar loans. So we've not seen any. The state of play of the economy, bring down inflation. February will make it 1 year they've been raising rates. You know what it means when you raise rates? To go to the bank to get a loan now, it's 30% for you. Interest rate is about 26%, but bank will add all their own charges to it. I know a pharmaceutical company that's pretty much shut down, and these were one of our partners in some of our outreaches. They provide malaria drugs. They can hardly provide malaria drugs these days. So government has to do something first about the interest rate. That's why I said they show signs, but they are not ready. Something has to do about the interest rate. We have seen that the interest rates rises has not brought down the problem of inflation.
Showing that.
Oh yes, you have to, because the terrain is unbelievably tough.
How far do you think they can go?
How far do you think they can go? I don't think they can go too far. And it's beginning to show. Look at most of the company making huge losses after the devaluation happened. Look at the huge cuts. MTN used to be a lot of profit and gain. Go and check Nigerian Stock Exchange. How many company has a market cap of over 10, 15, 20 trillion? Check. How many companies? And now divide that 20 trillion market cap, or if there's anyone that has over 10, 15 trillion market cap, by the current dollar rates. That's what devaluation is. If somebody brings a lot of dollar, he can buy most of the companies in Nigeria and just. So these are challenges. What can the government do? Listen to the businesses. The government announced, that's why I say, you see, they are ready and they are not ready at Zimbabwe. The government announced a couple of loans for manufacturing business when they first devalued last year. Have all those conditions been fulfilled? CNG now, nobody talks about the CNG again. Adoption is not great. I have a CNG car. How many places can you get CNG to buy? Where's the presidential initiative on CNG? How long have we gone? Yeah, they've given a couple of thousands of cars and conversion kits. Is that pervasive? Can you say that's a viable alternative energy? And just are still buying for at close to 1,000 naira. You know how much is the cost to cut your hair now? Somebody want to put up a better person and never generator. That's why I'm saying that these things are not far-reaching enough. They are not far-reaching enough. So they've done some things, yes, but it's not pervasive. So it doesn't look like they are ready.
Let's look at the wider pictures, especially health. I know that a section of the book talked about not seeing the level of self-organization in other areas of healthcare. I'd like you to perhaps recall what makes that a bit difficult.
Yes, we have not seen that level, but since we wrote the book, the book was about 22 years ago. Since we wrote the book, we've seen some good sparks. Since we wrote the book, Evercare popped up, Coptic popped up, which I had a need to use their services, which was good. But it has not trickled down. So the question is, if you're sick, how many average salary earner that has about 200,000 can use these high-end hospitals? Probably maybe if you're on an insurance plan. So when you look at it, we need to have more boutique ones that cater to the very low rung. It's still pretty much the general hospital, and it's quite very difficult when you have all the consultants. So you have some pockets of successes, but it's not pervasive enough. Because most of those deals were not thought through. When they liberalized the sector, there was a lot of cronyism that happened. So across the value chain, we're not thought through. I'm sure you see that most of those discos are not even being run by the banks that they collected loans from. So the question is, did they have enough capital injection? It was because they had known some people that were close by. Secondly, there's also a conversation about the transmission elements. That's why we go back to the Siemens deal. Till today, where are we on the Siemens deal? After Abba Kyari had passed, God only knows what happened. We didn't see a lot of traction, as it were. You all remember during the election when Peter Obi talked about the fact that Egypt had a better turnaround time than us. So even if you have all the companies shooting out power on the grid, the question is, where's the transmission lines, which is still being controlled by the government in the interest of national security? That's another conversation. If you ask the minister, you say we need more money to be able to do that. You've heard about the grid collapsing because of the SCADA system and inefficiencies of the grid. How much money are we ready to put in that to be able to achieve some level of success? That's another conversation. This is about 40 billion. I'm not sure it's going to be totally about grid power. Because if you say 40 billion, if it's all over Africa, it can't do anything on the grid power. It's going to be like the alternative grid system and projects under, rural electrification that we've always done, that we've used, smaller grid system like solar and the likes. But the question is, how viable is it? Probably those things there will provide lighting and charge phone, improve community outcomes, but how viable is it in the long run? But my ground says, even with this meager resource that will be coming in, how well can we spend it? Africa has over 30 million square kilometers of land, over 1 billion people, rich in land mass. But when you look at the outcomes as regards power production and all of that, then you start to see that it falls apart. Projects like this are good for the communities, but we still need to make a lot of investment on the grid power. Because if you want to challenge the world, you need to have great power. If you want your GDP to move, you have to have great power. It has to be accessible, it has to be cheap. Nigeria has a lot of those alternatives. We've got coal, we've got gas and everything, but we need to harmonize. That's always been the problem. So that's the investment. This is good, but we must not have a total reliance on this level of project. We must also see how we can introspect and how we can develop our grid system, which has not been properly funded because of underinvestment and everything and all of that. Some people had argued because of the tariff system, okay, you don't have cost reflected tariff and all of that. We've got some leeway on that now. But how can we create the systems and make it a whole lot better? I think that's the cardinal conversation. Investment. You need to put money in. You need to put money in. You need to put a colossal amount of money and ensure that it's not corruptly stolen. And there needs to be accountability. If the Siemens deal had gone, by this year, this projection, we should have been hitting close to availability and allowance for about 20,000 on the grid. But where are we today? Nowhere as regards that. Because you see, whatever we don't even put on the grid, we pay for it in generators. Power is still being generated one way or another, but it's being generated through generators, and it's more costly rather than pushing it on the grid. So definitely it's a big danger. And I talk about accountability because I know what I'm saying. I mean, remember the last power minister. You saw how it went. The allegations of corruption. But to date, you wonder why can't we accelerate things? The UFCC very selective in their approach. It's now obvious. That was always the fear that it's going to be used as a tool against political opponents. It's now obvious. Today the fight is now against advanced fee fraud boys, which is good, but also the people that have power. Also, most importantly, I think the party should have added is the judiciary. It takes very winding, long sessions in court cases. You don't get anything in the end. And justice delayed is justice denied. There's a big backlog in the judiciary and a couple of other things like that. The judges are stretched out and all of that. So it's like a cultural conspiring of some sort to ensure that accountability is not done. And that's why we can't move on as a nation. So there's no chance for redemption. That's why we keep rigmaroling. That's why I say it's a cultural, conspiratorial scene. There's no chance for redemption. It's not a redeemable mess. Look at where we've been hovering about this mess. Over 40 years. Even more. Even since the days of independence. It's not during independence. When people say Nigeria was good back in the days, you had the case of lawmakers that were stealing lots of money and finance minister that grew so rich that today his family is still fighting about his wealth.
So when we talk about the solutions, we're merely paying lip service.
We'll talk about the solutions, but if the people are ready to listen. So there's a big conditionality. But you see, the corrupt class is enjoying all of this mess going on. So they're not ready to listen. They feed off the corruption in the system. They feed off the budget cycle not working the way it ought to work. They pad budgets. So we can talk about the data that came up. If we don't have behavioral change and accountability change, we're not going to go anywhere. But everybody, I mean, what are you even saying? Look at the EFCC itself. The boss of the EFCC says, I know my people are corrupt. And it's that same people he sends out every. Did you hear the story of an EFCC person that was put in a place to go and count money or something, exhibit money? That's so $30,000. Have they found him? Have they found him till date? So there's a level of madness and malaise everywhere.
The people, the followers themselves.
Oh, those ones don't know any better because they've been dividing along the lines of tribalism, lack of education, not very clear direct thinking. So it's just a very warped case. Except we start to have that behavioral change and all that accountability. This nation is great. But my fear is it might never reach its potential unless we rise up. And with this crop of politicians, it will never reach its potential.
Crop of followers too.
And this crop of followers, except there's a new orientation, a new mindset without greed.
You don't put the blame on the entirety of followers.
I put it on the ecosystem. Like I said culture. Culture pervades every class. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. Culture that affects the leadership. Culture that affects the family. Go and talk to a 6-year-old. I want to be a politician because of what's in it for me. So once people have the mindset that they're not going there to serve, they're going there to steal, then you can never have accountability. You can never have success.
This state is on the right path.
When you look at it on a cursory look, you see, Lagos enjoys some adjacency in terms of innovation because all the big multinationals are here, so you can see some level of collaboration. You would expect more in a couple of states of the southeast, southwest, but it's not that pervasive. Lagos is just because of the adjacency. I mean, any state that is put in the position of Lagos will do well.
And I think there are other states that have not enjoyed similar.
They could do more. I give you an instance, Akwa Ibom could do a whole lot more. Akwa Ibom too has that adjacency. They've got big oil industry in Eket. Mobil is there. But it's not at the rate at which you'll have wanted it to grow. But Lagos definitely will have something I call the unfair advantage. There's no how. There's no how. On the federal front, yes, we've tried to do that self-organizing collaboration at some point. You remember when government was giving tax breaks to companies for them to do infrastructure? That's the mentality of some sort, at least, so that you know that they do the infrastructure and all of that. We can see more of that. But it's not as rapid as we want it to be. It's not as rapid as we want it to be. That's just been the problem. Lagos, yes, will enjoy adjacency. A couple of states in the southwest, not us. Maybe today we are going to see some of the end of this collaboration in the southeast. Landmark and Enugu state government on Nike Lake Hotel. Been a government structure for years. At some point, Proti came to run it. I stayed in that hotel at some point. I know how decrepit, I know the potential has got. Let's see what Landmark will do with it. But we can do more. We can do more.
Any other thing you think is important for people to know?
I think it's high time we really do something about behavioral change. And stop this conversation of we have potential. We can't have this. We can't keep saying we're having potential. We ought to accelerate. We've seen what countries like China have done in 20 years. And I deliberately say 20 years or 24 years because it was in 2001 China joined WTO. After Mao passed, the revolution pretty much started in the 80s, but I'll peg it from 2001. When are we going to hit that potential? When are we going to have that level of leadership that will say, okay, let's think forward. Let's grow the size of the economy. 8 years ago, the projection after they rebased the economy of Nigeria, the projection was if we had consistently done that 6% growth, By now, we should be inching towards doubling the size of our GDP, which should easily be $1 trillion economy today. And we've gone back to 199 billion. So maybe now, when they rebase the economy and the numbers come out end of January into February, maybe we can inch close to where we used to be before. As of 2014. It's time for us to get the work done. And that's why we need leaders. This present crop of political class, I don't see, except if you have an outlier. We need leaders that can come and revolutionize the thinking. Real leaders. And that's why 2020 elections will matter the most. But I don't see 2020 elections changing anything. Why? Because most of the things that would herald the selection process, like INEC fixing its processes, like making BVAS justiciable, making IRF justiciable and other things, we are not seeing it. So I don't think anything magic will happen.
At this point, that projection is exciting.
I can't lie to you.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, it's a great. You see, I can't lie to you, and from studying things, I can't lie to you. It's just been that cyclical of green picture. You have some that will push. Then all the growth prospect that I've achieved will be destroyed by some funny dude.
Personally, you're frustrated.
Are you talking to me? Are you not frustrated? Everybody's frustrated because you see so much potential. See, if we were growing at that 6%, by now we should be close. Because see, it said that if you grow, I think I don't know how the analogy. If you grow 8%. In 10 years, you double your GDP. If you grow 6%, in 13 years, you double your GDP. And now we should be close to topping over $1 trillion economy. But look at us today. After devaluation, GDP is 199 billion. From the biggest economy in Africa to number 4, number 5. And you don't expect me to be frustrated. And it's just clueless leadership. When you look at the rigmarole road Buhari took us through. Took a country that was growing and everything, destroyed it. At first, for the first 6 months, there was idleness. No, he didn't give us any minister. You know, just imagine yourself that. So when the inflation came, when the recession, you must do it yourself recession. The leader, I said, I want this, I want this, I must.
You don't think that Buhari himself was perhaps frustrated?
That's why I didn't give you ministers for the. See.
Well, you recently said it feels much better
No.
now.
So, but why did he come out to run? Why did he come out to run? That's why all the things he's been saying recently, it's just been laughable. If you feel Nigerians are difficult to answer, why did you come out to run? You would have just left the country alone. It was not by force. Because you came out. No worthy leadership. For the first 6 months, you were sworn in May 23, 2015. For the first 6 months, you couldn't even bring in ministers. You didn't show any attempt of working. 2016 inflation, the economy went south. Recession caught up with us. They decided to blame oil prices. So oil prices. Things are getting so bad. Even when the Russo-Ukrainian war started, the oil prices went up. We topped over $100 per barrel. What did we do with the money? Everybody was fitting fat. At first, his spokesperson said they were climbing the Augean stable. To date, from the administration now, they are now claiming their own Augean stable, humanitarian ministry and all of that. This addition of they were claiming the Augean stable, they are still claiming their own Augean stable.
I'm not going to stand in defense of the former president, but there are those who would also argue that what do you need ministers for? Just keep the permanent secretaries, directors, the matching others.
Anyway, just like how Tinubu has not given us ambassadors in over 18 months, but in international affairs, there are some things that Charge d'Affaires cannot do. And it's showing. In terms of Nigeria international, that some things charge their fare, and some things the government of the nation will not have a conversation with anybody except for the ambassadorial level. Is it not showing? So if you say, what do you mean is a good permanent sec? Didn't it show? Was there a sense of direction? They finally got ministers. Was there a sense of direction? In a race, once you have a false start, there's over 10% chance that you might not come first in that race.
You don't tell young people to.
No, they have to sit back and make their country work.
Yeah, but if they're equally frustrated,
Turn their frustration to action. You don't flee. The country you are going to is not people that built it. The America you are fleeing to is Trump not sending people back, illegal migrants. You don't flee. You turn your frustration to action. You don't agonize. You organize. So how will you make your voice heard leading up to the next election? What will you do? It is when you telling 10 people that, hey, you must not collect bribe from that politician. That's just it. Look at the mass movement that happened in the last election. Young people, at least, Peter Obi could get over third candidate could get over 6 million. It was the young people. So you don't have to be frustrated and say you want to flee. Because that's always the option. It's a jaded mindset. Venom Mario guy sang a song in the 80s. 84, 85. That was released on that Tabansi Records. Andrew Mojakauto Enebeli Elebua acted as Andrew that time. Say what? Nigeria will survive. All the Andrews that checked out then in the 80s, now they are coming back full circle. They're already retiring. Old age is already coming. They've lived in America for over 30 going to 40 years. Some of them might have made money, but now they're beginning to say it's too cold here. So I want to come to Nigeria more often. Some of them are coming to set up hospitals here and there in Nigeria. Some of them are coming to set up business here and there. So the problem they fled to be able to get a leeway on, they have come back to see it in a worse dimension. Chinua Achebe will tell you will respond to you with the title of his last book that he wrote before he died. He will tell you there was a country.
We have partners in Summit and Ikada. These are
So what has now happened since that government took over
all
gas wheat production in Nigeria?
all the wheat value chains that traditional established, in which wheat was one of the value chains. They were no longer in existence. That was, in fact, they all collapsed. There was
So after Akinwumi Adesina left, all the wheat value chain collapsed in Nigeria.
not only the wheat value chain, even all the value chains. We have wheat value chain, we have rice, we have maize, we have cassava value chain. Honestly, all collapsed. There was no funding. Nobody talk of any value chain again. But thank God that during Buhari, when Buhari came on board, honestly, Buhari launched our wheat production in Kebbi State. In Kebbi State, when Bangudu, the present Minister for Budget and Planning, was the governor of Kebbi State. Because that time I was also the one driving wheat for this country. So it was launched, and that was how they now revived the wheat production. That's how the wheat production was revived. There were interventions from Nigeria government to promote and enhance wheat production. In fact, I thought that within 5 years of that intervention, Nigeria should be able to attain at least 50 to 70% self-sufficiency in wheat production. But unfortunately, that deal was not realized because of policy somersault. We have the good materials because we have partners in Summit and ICADA. These are international research institutes that have the mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat globally. And we collaborate with them. We used to get germplasm materials from them, and we screen them for our own adaptability to Nigeria condition. And we have released more than 15 wheat varieties in this country.
So Nigeria has more than 15 different wheat varieties
released.
From and because as your work as director of Lake Chad Research Institute.
Yes.
So 15 different varieties. Can you tell us some of these varieties and how easy is it to grow them as we speak?
Okay, sir. One, we released Attila Ganatilla. We released Norman. Just about 2 years ago, we released Bullock 111. That is Bullock 111. Now, these varieties gives about 4 to 6 tons per hectare. Just 2 years ago, a woman farmer from Jigawa State got 6 tons per hectare of wheat due to this released variety from Lake Chad Research Institute. As I said, these varieties are heat-tolerant materials that does well in our own environment. Then apart from normal, we also have rain-fed wheat varieties. You see, Nigeria is so blessed. We can grow wheat throughout the year. We have the irrigated wheat. These 2 varieties and other varieties I mentioned to you, they are irrigated wheat varieties. We also have varieties that we have released under rain-fed conditions. Now, where do you grow this wheat under rain-fed condition? We have some highlands in Nigeria. We have Gembu in Mabila Plateau in Taraba State. We have Obudu in Cross River State. Then we also have Jos, Plateau State. These 3 highlands are what we exploit for rain-fed wheat production. Now, the question you ask, why is it that we have not been able to sustain the productivity of wheat in Nigeria? Now, one, I told you of policy somersault. Our government has never been consistent with policies. Secondly, with due apology, some of our leaders did not show enough political will to drive with self-sufficiency in this country. During SADC project, which was actually funded by AFDB, 22 countries in Africa participated in that project. Ethiopia, Sudan, and Nigeria were the 3 hubs for this project. Ethiopia
is wheat sustainable now?
Ethiopia is self-sufficient in wheat production. They are also exporting wheat.
Ethiopia started to export wheat.
Ethiopia is exporting wheat. And we were on the same pedestal before during SADC project. Nigeria, Sudan, and Ethiopia. Sudan has reached more than 60% self-sufficiency in wheat production. Nigeria, less than 10%. Less than 10% because of policy somersault, because of lack of enough political will. Political will. When National Wheat Farmers Field Day is being organized in Ethiopia, we see their president attending the field day. If the president is there, who are you as a governor that will not be there? But in our own country, I'm telling you, it was only the time of President Buhari that he came to Kebbi. Then during the time of additional, that he came and witnessed our National Wheat Farmers Field Day in Kadawa. But with all the interventions that we have had in Nigeria that would have made us to be self-sufficient in wheat production. Honestly, we have so many challenges.
How much wheat does Nigeria still import as we speak today? What do we lose in foreign exchange to importing wheat?
Our national wheat consumption, wheat consumption in Nigeria is about 6 million tons. 6 million tons. Our production declined about 3 years ago to 150,000 metric tons.
Out of 6 million tons that we consume?
Yes. Just recently, with these interventions from this present government, from Buhari's government and this present government, we have been able to increase our production to 430 metric tons.
430,000.
430,000 metric tons.
So if
you can see the deficit.
So that means Nigeria still imports about
we still import about 5.5
million metric tons. And how much does that cost us in forex?
$4 billion.
$4 billion.
$4 billion
every year,
annually.
And this is something we can grow within.
Now, let me just tell you the potentials of wheat production in Nigeria. We have 1.2 million hectares of land suitable for wheat production in Nigeria. 1.2 million hectares suitable for wheat production. Within the 15 wheat producing states, the Cross River has just joined now. So we have 16 wheat producing states in Nigeria. Now we have the water bodies. We have the irrigation facilities. Though that needs to be expanded. The irrigation system needs to be really revitalized. We have the personnel, the scientists. We have the improved varieties that can make us attain wheat self-sufficiency. But even the research, we need fund for research and development. Recently, that's about 2 years ago, AFDB supported Nigeria when they wanted to give us this loan for NACS project. AFDB supported us. They said before the loan is given to Nigeria, we should have what we call National Strategic Plan for wheat self-sufficiency in Nigeria. I led that team to produce that strategic document for wheat self-sufficiency in Nigeria. And we gave ourselves 10-year development plan. 10-year development plan. And by the grace of God, with Buhari and this present government, we have been able to religiously implement that strategic document. And that is why you see this NAS project now, trying to enhance the production of wheat.
When the government keeps saying we are releasing grains from the National Grain Reserve, do we have enough wheat in the National Grain Reserve?
No. But let me say this honestly, there's an improvement over the past years. Because 2 years ago, our target was to cultivate 250,000 hectares of wheat. 2 years ago. Due to lack of seed, we could not meet up with that target. I think maybe we cultivated about 150,000 hectares. But this season, we targeted the same 250,000 hectares of wheat. We did not import any seeds to this country. It was the seed produced locally that was used for these 250,000 hectares. So there's an improvement. unlike 2 years ago when we have to import wheat seed to Nigeria.
Recently, the president was talking about cultivating 10 million hectares of arable land. How can wheat play an important role in blocking this food deficit in Nigeria?
Yes, as I told you, number one, we need political will from our leaders. That's number one thing. Political will is essential. 2, consistent policy on wheat, and not only on wheat, even in agriculture. Let the policy be consistent. Then 3, funding. We need to fund research. We need to support the farmers. We need to support the farmers. If all these things are done, unnecessary, I assure you, there is no crop that Nigeria cannot produce. We have the fertile land. We have the water bodies. I stayed in Maiduguri, Borno State, for 29 years. We have a special soil. Borno State has a special soil than any other state in Nigeria. And what is that soil? It's called Vati soil. Vati soil. Very rich in organic materials. In fact, when we grow our wheat in Maiduguri, under research, we got up to 7 to 8 tons per hectare. And farmers got about 5 tons in Maiduguri because of the special soil they have. So it is very possible for wheat.
Okay, so tell me about this your wheat farmers week that is coming up. What day is it going to be held? The field day and other programs.
Actually, there are several players in the wheat value chain. We have the FMAN, Flour Milling Association of Nigeria. These are the off-takers of our wheat. In fact, if you talk of wheat importation to Nigeria in those old days,
it was the flour mill.
Who are the people?
In fact, they even started growing it. The Greek people, the Kosonakos, I forget their name now.
Yes, you see, that is the interesting aspect of it. I do want to go to, I do want to talk about it. But what actually happened was that flour mill was the only off-taker of wheat in Nigeria. And in those olden days, they were not off-taking our local wheat. They said our wheat was inferior to imported wheat. That's why they were not buying Nigerian wheat. They were importing. Until when we were able to break that barrier. And how did we break it? I was in the off lecture then. I gave flour mill 5 different varieties, 100 kg, for them to test. Then we collaborate with Firo. We gave them materials also. Let Firo also test this wheat, Nigeria wheat. They tested it from their laboratory. The mill has tested it. Another good thing, CBN now invited all of us, all the players in the wheat value chain to CBN to come and discuss the challenges of wheat and the quality of Nigerian wheat. Honestly, that was where flour mill came up with their own report that they have tested Nigerian wheat. Nigerian wheat has better quality of protein than imported wheat. The only snag or the only challenge they mentioned was that the gluten content of our Nigerian wheat was lower than they imported it. And then they asked me the question. I said, yes, that is a plus to our Nigerian wheat. Because if the gluten content in wheat is high, there is a disease called celiac disease. Celiac disease that can lead to high blood pressure and whatever thing. I said, that gluten, if it's a high content, it will cause that disease.
Makes you bloat.
Yes, thank you, sir. So they say, okay, fine. So our wheat is okay. But because what is the importance of that gluten? It's the gluten that makes the bread to rise.
Right.
You know? So if you see bread that is flattened, the gluten content is very low.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, which is a good thing. So now they said, okay, that's it. But we can still help the flour mill to make sure that their bread rise. And how do we do that? We increase the urea fertilizer we apply. To the crop. We increase it. But to the level that it will not be carcinogenic to humans. So we did that. And now they have said it. Fortunately also, these new varieties were tested by them, and they have said it's very good for bread making. And that is why they are now uptaking. In fact, we held a national wheat farmers field day in Kano one time. The chairman of FEFMA, John, came, and that's where he made the pronouncement that all the wheat produced locally in Nigeria will be offtaken by the flour mill. Until today,
They have taken
it. So we don't have, there is already market for wheat production. And fortunately, let me tell you, there is no crop that attracts more profit than wheat. Just about a month ago, 100 kg of wheat was sold for 160,000 naira. One bag of wheat. About last month, it declined to 130,000. Can you imagine? And we have said a good farmer that manages his farm very well must attain 3 tons per hectare. If we cannot get 3 tons per hectare with our improved technologies, that is the gap, that is good agronomic practices that we have taught the farmers to adopt. If you adopt them, you should not get less than 3 tons per hectare.
Okay.
Sir, if you get 3 tons per hectare, that is 30 bags per hectare, times even 100,000 per bag.
Okay, so the field day will be coming up. But
Yes.
what about farmers that might probably be watching this live that want to be in touch with the Lake Chad Basin Development? That want to
Lake Chad
research, want to get improved seeds and all of that. How do they contact you? Lake
Okay,
Chad?
sir.
And also maybe well-meaning Nigerians that might want to donate some of the research work that have been done by Lake Chad. How do they contact Lake Chad Research Development?
Okay.
And where is it based? It's based in
Lake Chad is Maiduguri. Lake Chad Research Institute.
Okay.
That is the institute that has the national mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat, millet, and barley in Nigeria. Now, for the field day you mentioned, I said we have partners. FMAN is organizing green. There are 2 types of field day we organize. There's a green wheat field day. Green, when the crop is still very green on the field. It has not attained physiological maturity. It will be so beautiful when you go to the field, you see it. Then the second one is when the wheat has matured. You will see it very brownish, like a cream color.
Yes.
That's how the wheat will be when it has matured. So we also have a field day. Then the one for FMAN, the green field day is now on the 18th of this month.
Okay.
18th of this month. I'll give you your number. I'll invite you. 18th of this month. They are doing the green wheat
That's
field
18th of February. Where is it going to be done?
Jigawa.
In Jigawa State.
In Ringin local government area. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the brown one, we have not finished it yet because AFDB that is sponsoring or funding the NAS project, they have to play a role. They must come. And so we have not fixed the date for that one for now. Then for Lake Chad.
Lake
Chad Research Institute is based in Maiduguri, Borno State. The headquarters is there, and then we have branches, we have stations. In all the wheat producing states, Lake Chad has stations there. You can contact Lake Chad. We have our website. There's a website for Lake Chad Research Institute. We have our email, but the present executive director now is Professor Kabiru. Professor Kabiru is the ED of Lake Chad Research Institute. But if anybody wants to make contact with Lake Chad, you can Google. You see Lake Chad Research Institute, or you just Google wheat production in Nigeria. You see Lake Chad Research Institute. You see myself. You see other people. That is how to contact them. Then, how do we have one-on-one discussion with our farmers? As I mentioned to you,
extension programs.
Yeah, we have our extension department in the ministry, in the institute. There is what you call monthly. What do you call it now? HRM. Monthly technology review meetings. Monthly technology review meetings. MTRMs. That's an opportunity for the research and the extension agents to interact with the farmers. In that process, apart from this field day, we also do what we call farmer school, farmer field school, where we demonstrate technologies to farmers on the field, on the spot, not classroom training now. On the field, we teach them how to plant, how to apply fertilizer, and all these things. That is one aspect of contact with our farmers. Then with our seed producers, we used to have training. We train our seed producers. We train our seed producers on how to produce quality seed with the assistance or support of National Agri-Seed Council. National Agri-Seed Council that is regulating the seed system in Nigeria. So these are the channels we used to communicate.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Then let me also mention before this man will now say, all about you did mention worker wheat. There's a worker wheat. This worker wheat was formed about 2 years ago. Worker wheat is West and Central Africa Wheat Collaborative Research Network. It covers the entire West and Central Africa. Professor Obi is the regional coordinator. And we are getting support from AFDB. We are also getting support from Nigeria government. We had held two summits. We held one last year, hosted by Nigeria. Then just this year, 2 years ago, we had the first one. Then last year we had the second one. That's the wheat summit, in which we invited all the collaborating countries to attend. And this has actually opened avenues for West and Central African countries to know the importance of wheat. And this war between Ukraine and Russia had actually made these African countries to make wheat a political, because these are the countries where we used to import our wheat. Even Nigeria, we imported our wheat from Russia, from Ukraine. But within this, everybody has to look inwards to see how they can promote their local wheat. So we just had a meeting with them in Côte d'Ivoire yesterday with my regional coordinator. We had a meeting with them in the Ministry of Agri in Côte d'Ivoire. And they told us that their government has made the wheat a priority crop. And we are collaborating with them. We are sending materials to them, just as we are doing for other West and Central Africa countries.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for your time.